Respect it, I mean, we network across the globe, cause it's a global market in case you didn't know. And since we all about information flow, let me be the first one to welcome you to Tech Zone with Paul Amadeus Lane. Let's talk tech, cause technology changing the game. It's all good in the hood, it's everywhere. Now let's get to the show, cause we live on air, yeah.
Welcome back to the Tech Zone. Sean, I'm going to ask you like I always ask you, where is my crust? See, that's kind of an inside joke that Sean and I have. Everybody knows who Sean is. He's our engineer extraordinaire at home base, and my homeboy, my gaming buddy. Sean got me to get an Alienware gaming laptop. Yeah, you know, I got it during Cyber Week with Black Friday. And did you do shopping this year online? What about your mobile device? Did you shop and use that? What if the shopping experience that we were engaged in kind of looked like this?
For Carrie, a night out starts with a day of shopping. On the hunt for a little black dress, she's armed with only a keen fashion sense and her iPhone. The first stop, Giovanna Dodici, her go-to brand. A kiosk offer welcomes Carrie to the store. By downloading Giovanna's app, she gets exclusive access to the summer collection. A text message gives her a link to the App Store. With the app installed, Samantha, a sales associate, gets an alert that Carrie is in the store. With the NewStore app, Samantha sees Carrie's preferences and order history. With access to the full catalog and real-time stock levels, finding the right dress doesn't take long. Samantha checks Carrie out right on the spot. Using Apple Pay, Carrie's big night is off to a fast start. While waiting for her latte, Carrie receives a recommendation from Samantha. Nice shoes. With a swipe and a tap, Carrie orders them and requests rush delivery. Samantha gets a pick, pack, and ship request from the NewStore app. She checks her store inventory. She's got them. The next steps are laid out by NewStore, so she knows exactly what to do. She prints the label, puts the shoes in a bag, and requests a driver to rush it to Carrie. That's how Giovanna Dodici defines customer engagement. As her shoes weave their way through midtown traffic, Carrie can get ready and track the delivery in real time. It's all coming together. Carrie sees that her driver's nearby. She hopes the night goes as smoothly as the day. The time has arrived and everything is perfect. Well, maybe not. The shoes are too tight, but nothing is going to ruin her evening. Carrie opens up the app, quickly finds her order, and requests an instant exchange. Samantha gets a ship-from-store request on her Apple Watch. She doesn't have the right size. So NewStore automatically reroutes the order to the next best location. They have them in the Uptown store, and soon they're on their way to the restaurant. Carrie gets the good news. The driver is just a minute away. What a relief! From instant exchange to quick change. Now that's some fancy footwork. The original shoes are returned, and Carrie lets Samantha know she's a lifesaver. Carrie doesn't miss a beat, so she's happy. Samantha receives great feedback, so she's happy. The head of retail operations gets the big picture with NewStore HQ, and she's happy. And Carrie's date looks pretty happy too. NewStore, the only mobile retail platform that boosts conversion, promotes engagement, unifies online and offline, and modernizes fulfillment. NewStore, the mobile retail platform. Find out more at www.newstore.com/happy.
And joining me right now to talk about this great innovation when it comes to mobile shopping, we're talking about Phil Granoff joining me. Phil, how you doing, my friend?
Good. Thanks for having me on, Paul.
Hey, great to have you. And it's amazing. When I looked at the report that you guys put out, I was just shocked that so many brands out there are not using the mobile shopping. Why is that?
If you think about how easy it is for you to pick up a mobile phone from a retail environment, that is from AT&T, Verizon, the usuals, you can just walk down the street and pick it up and it's part of your life. It's been that way now for 15 years or so, longer. But for a store brand to pick that up and really embrace it as part of how the experience happens for consumers, that's a little tougher. That's actually why NewStore was built, to help retail brands embrace a mobile first world, because as consumers, we are all mobile first. You've got one right next to you right now. You wake up with it in the morning, you go to bed with it at night. So, retail's catching up, but it's definitely not there yet.
That is so true. And it's kind of reminds me of, that relative that you have. It's like the year 2016, and they still think it's nothing wrong with having the home rotary phone, but say we have to come up in the times. And I think a lot of retailers, they're not seeing the added value of it, because you look at the Black Friday numbers and the numbers just keep coming in, and the many billions of dollars that was spent on mobile devices. I mean, that's a slice of the pie out there that some of these major brands are not getting this year.
No, they're not getting it, and they're also leaving a little bit on the table as well, because right now the mobile devices that are being used to drive a huge percentage of retail are not even converting at a rate that they should be. So while so much is being influenced, I think the number is like 80% of retail in-store shopping is being influenced by mobile. The shopping that's actually happening on mobile devices, that's not a great experience today. So imagine if mobile devices were simple to use in a shopping environment, didn't require forms, had great video, connected you to store associates. If all of that was there, which is what NewStore is doing, by the way, that would transform people who are just looking at their phone into actual shoppers. So I think the estimates right now is that mobile phones are converting at about 1/4 the rate of desktop. Imagine if we got those rates to similar to desktop. There's billions of dollars being left on the table. And in addition to that, you look at the numbers, desktop is dying. Retail is becoming a mobile world.
That is so true. That is so true. I remember I was speaking to one of my good friends at the Consumer Technology Association, and we were having this conversation about mobile devices 8 years ago. And
yeah.
he and I were both wrong about how we see what people are doing now. And why do you think that consumers have confidence now in mobile devices? Because I think at first some were kind of leery. I don't want to put my credit card in my cell phone or do this and that. But we see all these different payment platforms now that kind of make it, real secure out there so ones can shop.
Yeah, well, people are familiar now with their mobile phones. And in fact, if you think about what would you rather leave your phone, home without? Would you rather leave without your phone or your wallet? It's becoming the thing that we can't do without. And so if you now combine the fact that this is where we're doing most of our looking and shopping, it becomes a natural place for us to buy as well. And plus, the security of shopping and mobile devices has gone way up now that they're new devices. I mean, with Apple Pay, for example, which is, I think now at least the numbers range between 20 and 30% of retail establishments take it. That's actually safer than using a credit card, because you don't exchange any data between yourself and the retailer. You're just sending what's called a token, which is basically just not your credit card number. That's all you need to know. So even if your retailer is hacked, they don't have your credit card information. So I think consumers are becoming more comfortable with that. And then you add the generational effect. Millennials, phones are such a part of their life. They really don't see the idea of paying for things and using their mobile device as something that needs to be separated. So I think there's a level of security that's already there built in, and there's the general sense of no one's afraid of it anymore.
And one of the things that I really appreciated about your company is the video that we watched before I brought you on. It showed the convenience. Like we had the young lady who wanted to shop. She wanted to get, these pair of, I believe it was shoes or something. She was going on a dinner date or something, and how everything just kind of worked together where she could still make the appointment, the date or something, and everything was done. I mean, that is convenient out there. And we're at a point now in humanity where we want convenience and we want efficiency. And it seems like the NewStore is doing both.
Yes, of course. So if you look at the video, you notice that it seems a little bit like, wow, what a great future this could be. You're walking down the street, you have an idea to buy something, You see where the local retail environment is. Maybe you buy it right there with one finger and one tap. You're near the store. You get told you just got to walk around the corner and you can get there. And then you walk in and the sales associate knows who you are, knows your buying preferences and your history, knows if you even want to be talked to in the store, and perhaps has that waiting for you there in the store, whatever you bought. And perhaps even in the store, you could buy something there and they can have it delivered right to you, like you saw in the movie. You think, wow, that would be great to have someday. Here's the thing. All the technology is there to do it. That's what NewStore is doing. We've integrated what we all have in our lives, which is the mobile device, what all of the sales associates have and all the brands in their pocket, which is a mobile device, and the infrastructure underneath it to tie this all together. Because if you are shopping for Gucci or Prada or Under Armour, you're not thinking Under Armour is going to be different in one place on the web than it is in the retail environment. It's all one brand to you, right? So what links that all together now is the mobile device. And there's no crazy, absurd technology that is required for this to happen. All that has to happen is for retailers to understand that linking consumers and associates together with devices they already have in their pockets is a great first start to create an experience that is coherent for a brand in a world that's obsessed with mobile.
Absolutely. And one thing I like about the report too, you guys discussed the mobile experience, how to make the grade. And it talked about build a consistent brand experience. Another one was incentivize adoption by associates and customers and install public Wi-Fi in stores. Why are those three things so important?
Well, if you think about those three things, that's what consumers have come to expect in their shopping experience. So we did, for those who have seen the report or those that haven't, we looked at 112 brands on the East Coast, all high fashion, luxury, athletic brands, apparel brands. And you would be shocked to know that only 1 out of 5 of them had a shoppable app, which is outrageous if you think about how connected you are to your mobile device. But yet 100% of consumers that are coming in have their mobile device with them and probably have looked up the store, looked up prices, looked up locations before they got into the store. So if you walk into that store and you don't have Wi-Fi, imagine that disconnect for the consumer. Or even worse, let's say a consumer walks into a store and a brand has said to their associates, please don't take out a mobile device. So now retailers are losing the arms race with their sales associates versus consumers, because consumers have more awareness of sales, of product, of inventory than even sales associates have. So bringing all that together is really critical because, as you said, it's all about efficiency and speed, but it's also about knowing what consumers want before they even know they want it themselves. And when they get into a retail environment, which, by the way, drives most of the commerce out there, they want to be serviced in a luxury sort of way. And what I mean by that is not luxury high price necessarily, but luxury that anticipates who they are, why they want to buy, what their preferences are, and the quickest and fastest way to close the gap between what they want and when they can have it.
One area that kind of, brought up alarms in my head, and that's very easy to do because I think about a lot of stuff, but was the path to purchase. And the grade that was given was a D.
Yeah.
And the three things of what ones can do to make the grade seems common sense to me, but why are so many out there missing the mark when it comes to this? I mean, it's common sense.
Yeah, you would think it is, right? But that's the funny thing about common sense, So one of the statistics we showed in the report was that, in just to buy something online, for example, the average number of fields that you have to fill in to make a purchase is 21. Now, every one of those fields is a pain, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what in an actual store would you want to be, that's, by the way, on mobile devices. So with your thumb, you're being asked to fill out 21 pieces of information. There's no reason for that to happen. With your thumb and, say, an iPhone and other mobile devices, all that information is already in the device. So that can just be pulled away. The other reason that there's friction in the path is that stores or retail environments and brands are still catching up with the idea that mobile should be informing the experience in the store. And so, because most of the commerces and transactions are happening in a store, you can be misled with the fact, well, let's just keep investing in the store. But if you look at the data, we're spending 5 hours a day on our mobile devices, and most of that is in an app. That's actually more time than we're spending in any store we've ever been in. So brands that pick that up quickly and understand that the environment for their brand goes well beyond the physical space, those are going to be the winners. And you can see experiments in different stores all the time, but no one has yet figured out how to weave that all together. The beauty of mobile is that you don't have to change all the infrastructure underneath the store. It's just use the devices that are already in everyone's hands, and you have a remote control for everyone's favorite brand.
Thank you. And I'm so glad that your company's out there helping ones to meet this challenge, because I have stopped purchasing something because of all the fields I had to fill in. And I'm like, no, this is just too much work. I'm giving you money. Can you make it a little easier for me? So thank you. Exactly. And Phil, is there anything else in the report that you would like to articulate to our audience out there that we haven't covered thus far?
I think one of the most important things is not to think of mobile and the retail environment as separate. They're one and the same thing. And very recently, you may have noticed that Apple dropped the word store from what they call their retail environment. You just go to Apple.
That's true.
And it's because they understand that consumers aren't thinking, I'm buying in different channels. They're just going to go to Apple. They're just going to go to Adidas. They're just going to go to Nike, right? So if you think about the integration of your store with a mobile-obsessed consumer and what that environment needs to be like to serve them, that's the beginning of getting it right. And once the consumer gets in the store, think about what are the equivalents to those forms that you need to fill out with your thumb on the phone. Like, why do we have to stand in line? Can't we be checked out while we're looking at items? You know, why do I have to wait for an understanding of where my favorite toy could be when you can, in fact, show me where the inventory is in the palm of your hand? So technology affords us the ability to create whole new types of experiences in store with mobile-obsessed consumers, with store associates and stores that are app-powered.
Well said. And your company has taken the guesswork out of it so that stores out there can just pick up your innovation and your infrastructure and just go with it.
Yeah. Well, if anyone wants to know more about the state of mobile retail, they can go to the site, look up the mobile retail report, and certainly download that information. It's available to everyone. And there's a way for them to understand that while the grades are low, that this is a much easier solution to implement than it might seem. Grades are not the future. Grades are the past.
Absolutely.
And the future to get an A is mobile.
That is so true. And Phil, it's been an honor talking to you, my friend, and we look forward to having you back as we see what the report shows next year, or your next report that you put out, and we can see how ones are doing. And hopefully ones really take this to heart, that this is something really serious when it comes to shopping experience. And don't miss the boat.
I'm a local boy from LA, so maybe the next report we can figure something out, and we can look at it together. How about that?
Hey, that would be fantastic, my friend. Thank you so much, and you take care of yourself.
You too, Paul. Great talking with you.
We'd like to thank Phil Granoff from NewStore joining us. That platform and innovation is going to change the game, I'm telling you. The future's looking bright, and the future is now. Make sure you download that report. You can even download it on my social media at Amadeus2K on Twitter. I'm going to have a copy of that too, so you guys can definitely check it out. When we get back, we're going to talk about health technology, health innovation, and how it's helping those and meeting the needs of those who have hearing challenges. But it's time for us to take our break. We'll be back in 2 and 2. This is the Tech Zone. We'll be right back.